everybody. Rise and shine. It's football time. It's time for pre-snap read. We are Rising Rhino and...
The Dr. Delay. How's it
That's
going?
right. Let's go. This is episode 2 of pre-snap read in the morning, and we are going to be playing with some certain segments and see what happens, and we're gonna go and adjust along the way. But Dr. Delay, what a weekend! What do you got to say?
Oh, yeah. I was just ready to get back into it. I'm sure everyone else was here, so I won't bore you with that. But I am just so excited to be 1-0. And honestly, I'm shocked that you guys are 1-0. So,
Shocked.
yeah.
Geez, what a game for the Jets and Steelers. Back and forth when I was watching the recap of that game. But big game for the Colts. But we'll get into all that in a few minutes. All right, so we'll start out the day. I won't go through the introduction of all the little sections. You'll see them as they go, and we'll change things in, put things out, put things in on a weekly basis, catch you off guard. But the first thing to start off with is the quarterback spotlight of the weekend. Who was the quarterback that shocked us? So put in the chat what quarterback you thought was the best of the weekend. Put the spotlight on them. Put the best quarterback in the chat below. And I'll let Dr. Delay start off with the quarterback spotlight.
Well, I know this would be kind of lame, but I'm going to pick him anyway. It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, everyone's like, oh, old man Rodgers, he's going to make it through the season, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he just threw 4
Is that how they
touchdown
sound?
passes. That's pretty much how everyone sounds to me, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, 4 touchdown passes. He was 22 for, I believe, 22 for 30. Yeah, 22 for 30, 244 yards. And honestly, he had to make a lot of stuff happen, for how bad that offensive line was. I mean, it was pretty terrible. I was like, man, this is going to be a rough day. And again, he led the game-winning drive. Obviously a 60-yard field goal by Boswell, but again, that's the game. But yeah, just Rodgers looked really good. He looked fantastic, and this is this was the best case scenario, and this is what's going to be delivering, I believe, for all 17 weeks. So I'm just very excited for him. Aaron Rodgers, he was the quarterback of Week 1.
Man, he definitely was the quarterback of week 1. 4 touchdown passes, like you said. You covered the game. You watched the whole game. You streamed that whole game. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I just saw the score going back and forth. Couldn't believe it. 4 touchdown passes by Rodgers, coming back to win the game. You were saying that the offensive line was a little shot.
It was terrible. Honestly, it was bad.
Terrible, lots of pressure. And
Yes.
that's what I'm worried about with Aaron Rodgers all year long. But he was able to do it week 1, and I saw after the game he gave a shot to the Jets and saying he wanted to give it to everybody that was a representative of the Jets organization. So he was angry, he was hungry, and he came back to beat the Jets, and that was pretty amazing. He was my quarterback spotlight of the week 2. We agree. I was shocked with how Fields played and did so well against that Steelers defense. But
yeah, Fields looked pretty good too. I'm not a fan of Fields. There's probably
I mean neither. But I have my fantasy teams,
yeah.
And I was shocked with his play, but even more shocked with Rodgers at his age getting 4 touchdowns against the Jets defense, who's supposed to be good as well. So that was a little crazy to me. Didn't see that coming, and I guess we both have the same quarterback. My other spot was Burrow didn't come through as well because I was high on him. But
Yeah.
But spotlight, we agree. Wow, Aaron Rodgers, that's the guy of the
To
week.
be honest, I thought you were going to go with Daniel Jones. I'm shocked that you didn't, to be honest with you. I mean, had I know you went with Rodgers, I probably would have went with Jones just to do a little switcheroonie there. But you go ahead.
Daniel Jones could be the MVP now. He's the man. I expected this. I didn't expect Rodgers.
I'm sure you did.
I've been talking about how Daniel Jones is comeback player of the year like all year long. The whole
and that's going to be Rodgers. Right? But yeah.
Now here we go. Jeez, our bias is not showing at all.
No.
We're just
keep it right down the middle.
Open fans. We cut it straight down the middle, like you said. It's pretty crazy, but Daniel Jones number 2. But I was more shocked with Aaron Rodgers, but That's that. All right, so that's the first segment. That's our quarterback, and hopefully you put your quarterback spotlight in the chat. We're going to be hopping to the game of the week. So put your game of the week in the chat below. Let us know from counting Thursday, Friday, if there's game on a Saturday as well, and all of Sunday and the Sunday night game. Let us know. So, game of the week. I will go first with this one since you stole mine before, but you thought I was going to take Jones. Has to be last night's game. Has to be Sunday night's game. Yeah, we were talking about how great it was going to be coming up from Thursday morning to Sunday. Like that's the best game. It's Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. It's going to be the best game of the week. It was the best matchup. The two best quarterbacks. Two-time MVP Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP Josh Allen, and oh man, did that deliver. It came through. I set a high bar for it, and I still think it passed the bar that I set for that game. 41-40, epic comeback. Josh Allen, magic at the end, winning the game with a field goal. It was just beautiful, glorious. Just when you think the Ravens going to run away with it, the Bills keep it somewhat close. They hang in there, and then they come back and win. It was just absurd.
Yeah, no, that was pretty exciting. I was watching the last drive. I was actually listening to you while I was jotting some things down last night. It sounded great. I mean, it was just. I mean, the script writers couldn't have scripted it much better than that. So their pencils and pens, they were smoking when they were writing that script for last night's game. It was really good, really great game. That was obviously on my mind, and I promise I won't keep this a Steelers thing because, to be honest, I don't expect the Steelers.
Yeah. This is going to turn into a Steelers show.
I don't expect the Steelers to be part of the game of the week. Often, if any. I mean, this will probably be the only one, but really, to me, it was Steelers Jets, especially in that early slate of games. I mean, again, it was just back and forth. I mean, the Steelers were down by 2 scores, and of course, again, I thought the storylines were very exciting. You thought, well, Steelers Jets, that's going to be a bottom tier game. And again, Rodgers playing his old team, a team that slighted him. Justin Fields, of course, felt like he was slighted when he was benched for Russ. So I thought the storylines were there. And again, the game itself was great. I mean, if you liked offense in that game, you really enjoyed that one. And of course, the one last night was really good. So really, we were very fortunate with some great football yesterday. I was just so happy with how week one went.
The Steelers-Jets game must have been the game that overperformed by far because Steelers-Jets on paper, I mean, they have the, the Super Bowls for the Steelers and then, like, the New York for the Jets. But, like, this year, this time, for the last however many years, like, Jets-Steelers, come on. Like, there's nothing looking forward to that but outside those markets. And then, pow, they delivered with a great game. But I mean, we can go into the stats and all that for the Ravens and the Bills with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because if you don't have those two guys as your top 2 choices for the MVP at the end of the year, then you're crazy. Like you're just out of your minds. Like I don't know who else you put in those top 2, like outside of those 2 guys. I mean, I know you maybe want to put Rodgers up there. I jokingly want to put Daniel Jones up there, but geez Louise.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously, again, like you said, a good game. Great game. And, MVP conversation for me at this point, there's still 16 other games left, so that's why I won't really.
They don't matter. Just give it to
I personally won't. I personally won't dabble into the MVP thing, but yeah, obviously those 2 guys were front runners coming into the year, and then right now they obviously look like they're head and shoulders above the rest. But again, Rodgers 4 touchdowns, but it is what it is.
How is he moving wise, Aaron Rodgers?
He moved okay. Like again, that offensive line was kind of making him move, and he wasn't doing too bad for a 41-year-old guy. I mean, shoot, he was moving all right. Obviously, is he the prime Rodgers? No, but he was doing what he had to do in the pocket, and it was very. Like I said, he played a great game. Do
you know how many times he was sacked?
3 or 4 times. Again, that it sounds not as bad as it really could have been. I mean,
that sounds pretty bad. 3 or 4 sacks, and then if you add on top of
it could have been worse. I mean, he was pressured, he was hurried. I mean, it was pretty bad. But again, he looked really good, and everyone that's downing him. I mean, you can continue to down him. I'm looking at the comments right now. Some people from Cleveland. making stuff about Rodgers there, but
Oh man.
that's
I
funny.
mean, do you
Like,
think he could be able to sustain this all year long? Like, I don't know. That's 1 week, and
um,
I'm sounding a little worried for
so
him.
to me, I think the Jets again. The Jets to me aren't really that great, but I do think that the Jets have a great defense. So that's the one thing where I'm like, well, they're not a good team, but they are a defensive team. So if we're able to look like this, put up 31, 30, was it 30? Yeah, 31 points. No, 34 points against the Jets, a really solid defensive team. Then I don't know. I feel like this is definitely sustainable. Of course, again, the O line has to get better, but I don't know. I'm very happy with the offense. I really am.
Is there a chance of this offensive line getting better, like I don't know the offensive line as well as you do? Is there a bunch of rookies? Is there old
It's
veterans?
pretty
Did
young.
players
I mean,
just not play well?
there's one there's one older guy there, the left guard, but yeah, no, it's a young offensive
So they
line.
can get a
They
whole bunch of growth
potentially
and
could gel well and get better as the season gets along, and that's really been the case the last few years for without this group, yet just the Steelers offensive lines in general. So I'm hopeful for that, but we'll see. We'll see.
we shall see. All right, hop into our next segment. We're going to ask each other questions, a little buy sell section, maybe a little overreactions, and then we'll get into our recap of the weekend and dive into that. So we're going to do the little buy sell. We'll ask each other some questions, and then you give us our take in the chat as well if you buy sell and your opinions on all of that. So, since we're talking a lot about the Steelers, I don't know why, but and Aaron Rodgers, my first buy-sell question is, and you pretty much covered it a little bit. We'll go a little bit more into detail. Buy-sell, Aaron Rodgers 4-touchdown performance. Would you buy that or sell that? Do you see more of that coming this year or not? So let us know in the chat. Buy, sell, Aaron Rodgers all year long.
I mean, all year long. I mean, if you're saying 17 times 4,
not quite, but like
okay,
getting
but
that a few
yeah,
times,
no, I
and
got what you're saying.
That's the main Aaron Rodgers, like MVP Rodgers. Are we getting that guy back at 41 years old with that offensive line?
I mean, like I said, he looked really good, and it might have been a personal thing for him. I can buy that. I really can. Again, we really haven't had great quarterback play since Ben Roethlisberger retired, and that was the best I've seen a quarterback look. Russ had that one really good game last year against the Bengals, and he looked all right, in spots. But Aaron Rodgers, I think, took this team to another level offensively.
Are we talking about Russell Wilson now? You're talking about Russell Wilson?
Well, Russell Wilson, he had some nice games last year, but no, Rodgers just elevated the team, and I can buy that. I really can. That's my final answer.
You were gonna buy Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I'm gonna go and say the jury's still out. That's one game. I know it's early. I could do that for every single thing, but I'm just worried about his body lasting. So I could buy it for the short term, but for the long term, I'd want to sell in a few weeks because I'm worried about that 41-year-old frame holding up. So that's my take on that.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead. As far as buy and sell, I have two. I do have overreaction questions, about the same. But
Okay.
so for my one buy and sell here, the Bengals were outgained 327 yards to 141. They still won, but that's still very concerning. Only 141 yards of offense. Are you buying or selling that the Bengals can continue? I mean, will they be able to overcome this and make the playoffs? Again, defense is the problem, or so we thought. Again, the offense only putting up 141 against the Browns.
Yeah, I'm selling the Bengals, selling them. I was worried about their defense, and they really showed why we like the Browns, Joe Flacco, and tearing up the Bengals and keeping it close. So that was scary. I'm really worried. I thought the Bengals should have blew them out, and it was a 17-16 game where the Bengals could have easily lost. I know you were talking about the history of the Browns winning and keeping it close. But wow, this is like a new year. The Browns got so much worse. They don't have a quarterback. They have Flacco, who was terrible 2 years ago and last year, and now this year he seemed okay. His stats looked okay. I think he had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. But keeping it close to the Bengals and the Bengals not able to do much offensively is scary to me. I know they're slow starters, but they can't start slow again. They can't. That AFC is too stacked. I'm worried about the Bengals. I'm panicking about the Bengals. And we're missing out on Joe Burrow's prime, and the Bengals are totally destroying that team. I don't think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs. This you know, we can say, oh, it's gonna, we'll see later on down the road. This is just week one, but no, I am selling the Bengals. I don't like it. I'm scared. I'm out. You can't play that way against the Browns and think you're gonna make the playoffs. And then not only is their defense wasn't that good because we know that, but their offense put up 17 points. Jamar Chase, where was he? I don't know. I didn't watch the game, but I didn't have to because he was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be. He didn't even play. Like fantasy owners must be screaming right now. He was supposed to torch the Browns. 17 points against that Browns team. I can't. I gotta sell. Abort. I'm panicking. I'm out of the plane. I got 7 parachutes on, and I am
You
done.
see,
I'm out.
all this stuff that you're saying makes sense, and I totally understand what you're saying. So, because of the fact that they won despite the terrible performance, that's why I'm buying them. I mean, you're able to win a game only with only 141 yards of offense. I mean,
But it's the
I
Browns, though.
think it's just going to get better. And the Browns have a good defense. I'm not going to say they're. I mean, they are terrible. The Browns are the mistake by the lake for a reason. They are a poverty franchise. With that being said, they still have a great defense. And again, just because, I mean, they won. They won the game despite a terrible performance, 141 yards, getting outgained by the Browns by 180 yards, and you still won the game. So I think it's just going to get better. I understand Flacco. I totally get it. Old man Flacco, but from what I was told by Browns fans, and even Vince here in the chat saying that they were tipped interceptions. So he still made the throw and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just never know. I'm gonna buy the Bengals. I still think of them as a playoff team.
The Bengals.
They've just been
Flacco almost had 300 yards passing.
They always start off slow.
31 for 45, 290 yards for Flacco. Who led the Browns in running? Like, who's the running back over there? There's no more Chubb. It's Dylan Sampson. Had 12 carries for 29 yards, and they still beat him. Jerome Ford, 6 carries for 8 yards. This offense was terrible. Judy, 5 for 66. Insanity. And then Sampson, probably more checkdowns for Flacco. He had 8 catches, 64 yards. This is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm buying.
Oh my God! I am out. I'm aborting on the
Bengals.
I mean, hey, I'm with you. I hope
Their
the Bengals
stock is
turn it
low.
around.
I'm hoping to make a good. There's a good investment there. It's low right now. I'll make some money on them.
I hope so because we're missing out on Burrow's greatness. I mean, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes, they're magic, and they got a team around them. I think the Bengals are just totally throwing Burrow and Chase under the bus and wasting years of their life. It's crazy. All right, buy or sell on the Colts domination of the Dolphins, 33-8. This Colts team is back and they are looking really good. They dominated that game. Are you buying the Colts team or are you selling the Colts team?
Well, kind of like with the Bengals, the stock with the Bengals so low, I'm going to buy it. So the stock with the Colts is so high, I'm going to sell. I mean, it's just to talk about a one-hit wonder. And
wonder.
Again, you had a great show after with the Colts, and I was there. You ripped me and everyone like, oh yeah, look, I didn't want to hear about all that 14 stuff, 14 years in a row. And you know what? That's what it sounds like. What it sounds like is that it's a one-hit, one-year wonder, and that's what happened with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones never going to do that again. What you saw yesterday was the best it's going to be. So it's all downhill from here for Daniel Jones and the Colts. You're not going to score on every possession again. It's not going to happen. And the Dolphins, again, I completely whiffed on them. I thought they would be much better. But, you guys look pretty good. But I'm going to sell. I just don't think it's sustainable. I think that was a once-a-year thing. And it's going to go back to your regularly scheduled program for the Colts.
Regularly scheduled program. Wow. Okay. I mean, I can get the one-hit wonder if they just found a way to win the game. Like, if they just won, It was a close game. It was back and forth, and then they won. I don't know, like maybe the Steelers winning. Like, back and forth, they could have easily lost. But we're talking about from beginning of the game to end of the game, Daniel Jones putting it everywhere with accuracy, not the deep ball too much. That's what I'm worried about. But perfect throws. It was amazing. Like, they didn't run the ball that well, but they got a few good runs when they needed it. Like, this was total domination. Offensively, defensively, throwing passes to the rookie Warren over the middle. Like, the defense with the blitz, we had strong safety blitz, cornerback blitzes, regular blitzes. They played coverage. They attacked Tua, everything, every phase of the game. Total destruction. Dolphins couldn't do anything. The Colts could do whatever they wanted, and it wasn't just a quarter or two. It was all game long. It was just domination, dominating the time of possession, and it was mind-boggling.
No, that sounds really good. I hate to cut you off. I mean, this sounds like last year's. You remember the Saints last year? They didn't really.
Nobody remembers the Saints last year. Nobody remembers the Saints this year.
Nobody remembers the Saints that scored 96 points in their first two games. They were so good
on their heads.
They were so good last year. Oh, how did they go? What, 4-13? Yeah, again, I think it's going to be more of that.
Who did they beat in the beginning?
I mean, who did you guys beat in the beginning? I don't remember the Dolphins being, Super Bowl contenders.
They're
maybe
decent.
Maybe I'm wrong.
They're better than the Jets and the Patriots.
I'm not saying that they are or aren't. I'm just looking at the fact that, hey, again, the Colts enjoy this. I just don't see it sustaining. But, of course, we'll be here every week to discuss that.
Yes.
It's going to be
Daniel Jones is going to – this is going to be like – the craziest thing because they got the Broncos defense next week. So you're going to be like, oh, I told you so. Look at that. The Dolphins have the best defense. They're fast. They're going to blitz. They're going to be scared. Like Jones is going to be scared. He's going to be like a deer out there in the headlights. But the Colts had a sweet offensive line. Let's see if they can hold the Broncos next week. But it's going to be like, if he doesn't have a great game next week, everybody's going to be like, rah, 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 I told you. But we have to look after that as well, not just at the Broncos game too. So that's how we got to be somewhat fair. But I was shocked with his one touchdown pass and 2 rushing touchdown performance for Daniel Jones. Possible MVP. He's going to get 5 MVPs. He's going to overtake Rodgers 4, and that's it. That's how his career is going. That's the way it's going.
I don't know. We'll just see next week.
I'm exaggerating. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's all good. All right. Well, hey, my next one, and again, this is the last of my buy and sell, and I do have 4 overreaction things that I'd like to hear from you. But so the Cowboys Eagles, that was a lot closer than I thought. A lot of us, I think, were expecting. Are you buying that possibly? Well, it's kind of a two-parter here. The Cowboys as good as the top of the NFC, or the Eagles, are they kind of going down? What's kind of your take on that?
So buy, sell on the Cowboys?
Yeah, you buy and sell on them, and then for the Eagles, are they actually more towards the middle of the pack, or was it just the NFC East matchup?
Right, yeah. How do you see that? The Cowboys, and then we'll get into the buy, sell of the Eagles. So put your prediction in the chat. What you guys feel on the Cowboys? Okay, so Cowboys on Thursday night. The Eagles beat them 24-20. I think that was exact. Yeah, 24-20. Wow. I was extremely disappointed in the Eagles and completely shocked with the Cowboys. I think everybody else was, especially for a home game for the Eagles. Eagles looked rusty. They looked flat. They couldn't pass the ball. Jalen Hurts couldn't throw it anywhere. A.J. Brown didn't have a catch till the fourth quarter. I thought I streamed that game, and I honestly didn't mention A.J. Brown because I was like, did I miss an injury? Yeah. Is he not playing? I didn't see him. I didn't want to say, where is this guy? He's injured? Because I was like, I didn't do my research. Where is he? I didn't see anything saying he wasn't playing. And then at the end, he gets a catch. And I'm like, he is playing. A.J. Brown is there. But the Cowboys must have just locked him down so much. He was just out of the way. So that was unbelievable. And then with A.J. Brown out of the way, even Devontae Smith didn't even do much. I think he had 2 catches. I don't even think he had more than that. Maybe he did, but that was so bad, so terrible. The Eagles are so bad. Luckily they had Hurts and they had the tush push because this was sad for the Eagles. But going back to the Cowboys, because that was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, he actually looked pretty good for only throwing for 188 yards. I thought he looked really good against the Eagles defense. The Eagles secondary was underperforming as well. And Javonte Williams, he only had 3.6 yards a carry, but he actually looked better because he had 2 touchdowns. This is a guy right here that I'm like, no, this guy he's got 2 touchdowns week 1. How many is he gonna have for the rest of the year? 2. He's gonna have like 2 for the rest of the year. So maybe he has 4 for the whole season, and he has 2 against the Eagles. I would have bought on Javonte Williams. If you have him on your team, sell him because wow, he was terrible for the Broncos last year, and he should be terrible for the Cowboys. I am not buying the Cowboys. I am just shocked. I don't think they're going to do well, but I do like their passing game with Pickens and Lamb. So that's a good thing for the Cowboys. But I think it's more of the Eagles being rusty, slow. They're not in sync. I think they'll get better. I think Hurts will do what he has to in the passing game, but he wasn't able to do anything in the passing game. And there was no pressure by the Eagles. Like Dak Prescott, like this was a great game for him, I thought, and he had 188 yards passing. And he had clean pockets for the most part. So I don't know how that gets better. But I know there was a few drops. CeeDee Lamb played out of his mind and 7 for 110, but he had a few drops too. So
Yeah, had quite a bit, and that really, I mean, the Cowboys really could have taken that game if a few bounces went their way.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys should have won that game. They should have won that game. But I'm selling the Cowboys. I don't want them. I still think they're not making the playoffs. They're going to be on the bottom with the Giants, but I now see them above the Giants instead of right with the Giants. They could probably squeeze out a couple more wins than the G-men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'll just keep it short. But yeah, no, as far as the Cowboys, I'm still selling. It was definitely a performance, but I think that's more of just the NFC East rivalry kind of just, making it a close game there. And as far as the Eagles, I like the comment, rent the Eagles. That's pretty good. I'm going to still buy them. I don't have them making the Super Bowl in my predictions anyway, but
you're buying the Eagles?
I would still buy them. I think it was just a rough performance. They still have a loaded roster. They really do. That talent on the team it's elite. So yeah, I'm just going to buy them. I'll just keep it short and sweet there.
So buying the Eagles, yeah, I would buy the Eagles too. Like I said, I think they're rusty. They'll get in the zone the next few weeks and rise to the top. But who are the Eagles playing next week?
I don't remember.
I think it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The Chiefs. Yeah. That is. I'm going to test you. We're going to test each other and be like, pow, pow, pow. Mm-hmm. So the Eagles Chiefs going to be a glorious game. So Hurts better get that receiving crew in shape to take on the Chiefs next week. So
yeah. Oh yeah. All right, you got it.
We'll rock and roll with the next buy-sell question. I know you picked this one. This is one I got wrong. You were big on this one. You came through with this prediction. The Packers dominating the Lions. Are you buying or selling the Packers this year? I know they're your Super Bowl pick, and this probably just solidified it more, but buy, sell, Packers.
Oh, yeah, 100% buying the Packers. I've been all in. I'm one of the few people that were like, yeah, no, the Packers are going to be legit this year, and they proved it yesterday all over the Lions. Run defense looked really good. And the pass defense, I mean, Goff really couldn't. I mean, he was just having to check it down, even when he did have time, which were a few of those moments. I mean, again, the pass rush, the defensive line of the Packers all over Goff. I mean, they just swarmed. The defense was great. The offense, Love looked pretty good. The receivers, Wicks, Dobbs, Golden got involved, of course, Kraft.
Well, I mean,
they were running end around to the tight end. So, I mean, they were feeling themselves, and they were looking really good. The Packers, I'm all in on the Packers.
All in on the Packers. I thought they had a chance last year, but I don't like their receivers, and I'm worried. But they need Kraft to come through, and I saw that he had a touchdown yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So Packers, Lions, I didn't get a chance to watch that game. I thought about covering that game, but everybody and their grandma was streaming that game, so I was like, I'm not doing that. And I covered the Broncos and Titans. So I didn't get a chance to take a deep dive on this, and I was watching primetime last night, and I fell asleep 3 times. I fell asleep, woke up, put it back, watched a little bit further, fell asleep 3 times, got halfway through the show, so I don't know what was the main issue with the Lions against the Packers, but apparently you were saying
they look pretty bad, and that's actually
Goff couldn't throw.
No, they struggled, and that's kind of my first overreaction thing. So I'm going to kind of frame this in an interesting way. Where, and the Lions, obviously, you know how well they were last year. We all kind of think of the Lions as this offensive powerhouse. Dan Campbell, great coach, aggressive coach, goes for it all the time. But of course, that loss last year in the playoffs, I think, may have messed with their psyche. Of course, they're looking to rebound this year, and they look absolutely terrible in week one. So my overreaction, or what do you think? The Lions are going to miss the playoffs. What do you think? Is that an overreaction?
You're
Or is that
overreacting
a
about the
hot take?
Packers.
I'm
You're
not saying that
overreacting
they
about the
are. I'm just
Lions.
saying that's what
I
I
can't
jotted
take
down for
this
the content.
insanity. What is going on? You got the Packers going to the Super Bowl. You got the Lions missing the playoffs.
I'm not
This
saying
is
that I
is
will
this a
say. I'm
segment
not
right
saying
now?
I agree with that, but that's is that an overreaction to say it?
Overreaction. This is the overreaction of overreactions. What's next? Cowboys making the playoffs. Dak Prescott winning a playoff game. What else? The Browns gonna make it 2 in the AFC because they almost beat the Bengals. What in the world is happening? Packers winning the division. Lions. Now, who's gonna take the spot? Who's gonna take the Lions spot in the playoffs? They're
team
still
that
gonna be
started
good.
1-0 yesterday.
What happened to their team? Oh,
Team that
they
put up
lost
more
some
than 6 points.
coordinators. What?
I was just saying a team that put up more than 6 points or whatever, and
Oh man, yeah.
I'm just saying, hey,
the Lions have a
it's
garbage time
just
touchdown.
a question, hey, the Lions going to miss playoffs is an overreaction, and I would say it's probably an overreaction.
Okay, no, you set me up. You baited me. That's ridiculous. I thought you agreed with that. That was nonsense.
No. I mean, I'm just jotting down questions,
At least I don't need coffee. These overreactions will help wake me up in the morning, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
because that's insane. But overreaction Monday.
I have 3 more if you're ready for it. Or do you got some more?
I would say overreaction. The Lions should still make the playoffs. I think the Packers should still make the playoffs. I think it's an overreaction to say Super Bowl, but you were calling that before they beat the Lions and beat them convincingly.
Yes.
But I need to go finish and watch the highlights and see how bad Goff really was. But yeah, I'm still worried about the wide receivers of the Packers, but I don't know what fully happened to Goff and the Lions. I'm gonna say it was just a little bit rusty, and the Packers were more prepared to play. I don't know, and the Packers are home, so they got their. I guess that's good thing for the Lions. The home game in Green Bay, they got that loss out of the way, and they'll probably win in Detroit later in the year, and they're gonna find ways to still win that division.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see. That's what we're doing. Of course, we're
we'll
going to see. We'll see. You're stealing my "we'll see." I keep saying that to people when they say something. I'm like, "We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, I got more. Do you got some more buy and sell? I got some three. I got three more
I'll go with overreaction, just like you. I'll turn the buy sell to an overreaction.
Okay.
Overreaction. Chargers beat the Chiefs on Friday night, 27-21. They did it at the end. They held on to the lead, and Justin Herbert came through with a big third down run to seal the game and beat Patty Mahomes in a one-score game because the Chiefs, find ways to win that. Last year, I think they were, 10-0, something stupid. But anyway, They lost their first one-score game. This year, the first one that they had, Justin Herbert and the Chargers going to dominate. They are the best of that division. They're going to win that division and maybe go far in the playoffs. Overreaction on the Chargers?
Man, I don't know. I don't think that's an overreaction. In fact, that kind of ties into my other one, so I'll go ahead and scratch that out. I'm going to say, the Chargers look good. They're a team that's been consistently, even like in the Phillip Rivers era, the Chargers are going to finally take that step, and they've always consistently fallen flat on their face. I'm sure you probably remember all those offseason. The Chargers, they're going to be the team. They're going to be the hot, the offense.
Phillip Rivers and
Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates, all of them. And of course, now with Herbert. Gates. I think this might be the year. They actually are able to win the AFC West, but two, possibly make a run. We'll see. Again, Herbert in the playoffs, not exactly the best quarterback I've ever seen. I think we got to be fair. I will be the first one to rip Dak and Lamar, all these guys that have underperformed. But Herbert, he's looked pretty bad too. Again, he had that 4 interception performance last year, and then of course he had that 30-3 lead against the Jaguars. And I argue with my friends, the defense allowed all those points. Well, I guess you're not allowed to score anymore after you're up 30-3. I forgot. The 30-10. I guess we're going to let them score again before we get a chance. I don't know. I think they can win the division. Again, the playoff success, we'll see. But I don't think that's an overreaction. I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I think that the Chargers can win the division. They were my sneaky pick. I had them making the playoffs, but such a tough division. It's probably going to be Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs in the playoffs. We just don't know what order. But that looked good for the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh in the second year as head coach there. That was nice to see. And getting Keenan Allen back, that could be a big difference maker. Keenan Allen is like the Aaron Rodgers of wide receivers, like he's just still going. So I like it. I don't think it's an overreaction for the Chargers
No.
winning the division,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah. Also, I'll scratch that off. I actually had the Chiefs will not win, or like the overreaction was the Chiefs will not win the AFC West there. So I'll scratch that off. So my next overreaction. Now, obviously, you covered this game. You saw Colts Dolphins, and it was a one-sided affair. I personally did not see that happening. Shocker. There's been a lot of offseason talk about the Dolphins, undisciplined. Again, they're just kind of doing whatever they want to do. The coach, to me, very brilliant offensive mind, but, might not be a leader of men. And after yesterday's performance, might be a little bit hot in Miami and even hotter than usual. Mike McDaniel will be the first coach fired this year. Is that an overreaction?
Ooh, Mike McDaniel fired, huh? Overreaction. People were talking about that in my chat when I was covering the game, and I'm going to say, with what I've seen from all of week one, I didn't see every single game, but yeah, I don't think that's an overreaction. I don't think that's an overreaction. With the way Tua is going and his career going downhill and just crumbling that hard to the Colts, if this happens a few more times and they're eliminated from the playoffs in like week 7 or 8, he could be gone by week 10. Week 10, who knows? This was so bad. The Colts dominated them. It was embarrassingly bad. So, do you think it's the Dolphins really, really bad? Did they just crumble so hardcore, or are the Colts so good? I don't think you think, or anybody thinks the Colts are that amazing. I think they have a good roster. I think the Colts have a good roster, and with the game manager of Daniel Jones, with that solid team all around, the quarterback being average, if he plays average, that's what happens. That's what I think. But the Dolphins were so bad, so we're going to find out in the next few weeks if the Dolphins just free fall and they crumble. Then he's out the door. He's gone. Do you know how long McDaniel's been there? I don't know how many years.
It's been about 3 or 4 years now.
Only 3 or 4.
It's just it's tough because again, the Dolphins look, when they're at their peak, they look unstoppable. But it's been, I guess, about 2 years since we've seen that peak, and yesterday was pretty atrocious for the Dolphins. So. I'm going to say it's an overreaction because I do think he can right the ship. But, he might be just best served. Again, I'm looking at the comments. An offensive coordinator might be his best role, maybe not a head coach.
Offensive coordinator? I don't know if you want him calling plays if they put up 8 points against the Colts defense.
Well,
and that was a garbage time touchdown too, so.
Yeah. No, you might be. You may be correct. Maybe he's done. I don't know, but I don't know. I want to say that's an overreaction, but
we'll see next week. The Dolphins have the Patriots next Sunday, so if they lose, big time to Drake May and the Patriots, and they get beat up bad, then
then the questions will then it will actually be like the media talking about, not just us. So for sure. You got another one? I got one more. I don't know if.
I used my 4. I went Aaron Rodgers, Colts domination, Packers dominating, and the Chargers. So that was my 4.
Okay, so I got one last one.
Let's go. Hit me. Hit me.
Last night, obviously, you had it as the game of the week. Bills, Ravens. It was very exciting. Bills coming back and winning.
Unbelievable.
Last night was the AFC Championship preview. Those are the 2 teams that are going to be the final 2 in the AFC. Overreaction or not?
Man, that would be glorious. I don't think it's much of an overreaction, but there's so much in the AFC.
So many
anything
teams
can happen with the Chargers and Chiefs. Patty Mahomes in the playoffs takes it to another level. So those 2 teams are in play. But I'm actually worried about the Bills. That defense was not good. The offensive line was a little shaky. The Bills don't have wide receivers. They still made it work. I don't think that comeback is gonna happen all the time. The Ravens defense played well all game long. In the fourth quarter, they're like, we're done, we're out. And it also took a Derrick Henry fumble to get there. Another fluke situation. That guy doesn't fumble too often. He destroyed them. I'm worried about the Bills. So if it's gonna be anybody not going to the AFC Championship game, it would be the Bills. Like I said, this is just 1 week sample size, so these predictions could be totally off. But from watching that game, the Ravens look so much better than the Bills, but blew that game in the end. And I don't know if that's going to happen in the playoffs. But I would say the Ravens should keep shooting up there. That was an anomaly in the fourth quarter and how they collapsed with the Josh Allen magic too. Yeah, I would say the Chargers, Ravens, maybe the Chiefs, Ravens, possibly even the Broncos, Ravens. I'm not liking their start though, but it's not an overreaction. We could see these two teams. I'm just a little worried about the Bills, how they performed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I totally get it. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that. It is. I think this is very likely the final two teams. I don't think the Chiefs go back. I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I picked the Bills and Packers, so I kind of, having faith that the Bills will figure it out defensively. Of course, again, the Ravens, I understand, it probably won't happen again, but they did allow more points than the Bills, so their defense, obviously still has issues if they're allowing Bills to just go up and down the field at the end of the game.
With Keon Coleman being the main guy, Mr. FSU, the main guy, like he's taking a step up, which is nice, but I don't know.
No, I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking, though, that those two might be the last two remaining. Again, both of those quarterbacks have to answer questions about how they perform in the playoffs as they consistently lose to Patrick Mahomes, or really the Bills beat the Ravens in the playoffs more often than not. So I don't know. That's it's going to be a very exciting. We got a long way to go. A long way to go. Yeah, a lot of good teams in the AFC. A lot of good.
Maybe
teams.
Lamar Jackson is just a choker in the end. He looks unstoppable during most of the game, and then pedestrian in the fourth quarter. Like he's got to put the game away.
When things get tight, he really does this quite often. He did it against the Steelers forever, though I think he's finally overcome that. And of course, again in the playoffs, he has consistently fallen short. So, not that I'm making this an anti-Lamar Jackson thing. I mean, he's really good, but
he's so good.
There are times
he's so good.
He will just choke in big spots. He has consistently done it. He's like Dak. He really is like Dak.
Well, Dak is nowhere near the talent Lamar Jackson is. But,
that's fair. But as far as the big moments,
the
big moments are just too big.
But wow, like Lamar Jackson, you watch him, and whatever he wants to do, he can do it. Like he's like they'll call a play and be like, all right, we're gonna do a run option, and we're gonna run this way, or I'm just gonna probably just bounce to the outside and run for 12 yards at the first down, and that's just what he does. Just gets to the outside, gone. Or it's like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put it there, bam, completion, like wide open. It's just right on the money. He does whatever he wants until the fourth quarter, and then he's just like, But that one play at the end of the game where I thought that this was the end of the Bills is when he was going to get sacked. There's two Bills chasing after him. Bosa, and I forget the other guy's name, but they were going after him, and Lamar Jackson's running away, backing up, going like 15 yards back, and he's about to go down. The Bills, hit him and then hit each other, take each other out. Lamar Jackson not only gets away, avoids the sack, but turns it all the way into a first down and continues to drive.
Yeah.
It's insane what he can do. And that's where I thought the Bills were done, and they still found a way to win the game, because I think they only got a little bit further and then they had to punt. So it's insane how good Lamar Jackson is in the first 3.5 quarters, and not the playoffs. But.
Yeah, no. Again, he just just in big moments. That's just really the thing that's been with him, for his whole career. He just fumbles in the biggest moments. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, there's a lot of talented teams in the AFC. That's why I'm just kind of I don't know about the AFC Championship, but wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't shock me if both these teams
Sheesh.
made it.
Yeah. I mean, if we get that for an AFC Championship game, we would be blessed.
Yeah, the script writers were definitely on point last night. So
we're gonna see the Steelers versus the Ravens in the championship game.
I mean, we've beaten them there before, but I don't know about this year.
Excuse me. All right, so
So what
we
you
got
got?
15 minutes left. We got 15 games. That's about a minute a game rather, 30 seconds each. We're going to do a quick rapid fire recap of the 15 games to close out the show, and we'll see. We'll go with that and let us know what your take is. Put that in the chat as we do this. Cowboys, Eagles. I'll start there. Shocked, disappointed with the Eagles. I covered this already. Shocked with how well the Cowboys played, but I don't think it's going to continue. So the Eagles with the win. They're lucky to get that win, and the Cowboys should be really mad that they got that loss because I don't think they're getting many more wins
Yeah,
this year.
you
Cowboys,
picked the
Eagles.
Eagles, right? You picked the Eagles to win, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, we'll go into that too.
Yeah.
Finish up this, and then we'll tell our picks.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely shocked that the Eagles and Cowboys were that close again. Just probably a NFC East thing, but yeah, I had the Eagles winning. Obviously, I had them by a lot more than that, but hey,
Oh yeah,
a win's a win for me.
All right, so our predictions from last Thursday. This is a cut down. We'll have even less time to be more rapid fire at the end. But my picks, I went 12-3 on the week, and then I got the Bears tonight against the Vikings, which it's kind of scary. But 12-3, the three mess ups that I had was the Raiders over the Patriots, which I picked the Patriots, but my data showed that I should have taken the Raiders. But I went with the Patriots because I just think Patriots have a better team than the Raiders, and they look better on paper, but the data said to go the other way. I didn't listen, and I got that one wrong. This is what happens. And then the other one I missed was the Panthers and the Jaguars. Of course, the Jaguars are the better team. My data shows it, and I went against that one again, and the Panthers got crushed. But anyway, I missed that one. Got to stick to the data. And the main one that I missed that you slam dunked is the Packers beating the Lions. So that was like my main miss, and I should have just stuck with my numbers, and I could have been 14-1. Silly me. I gotta stop going with feelings. I gotta go with the data, and that's what happened.
That's fair. I was 11-4. I missed on the next game, which would be Chargers and Chiefs. I had the Chiefs winning.
Everybody did. Man.
I missed on the Colts Dolphins. I was completely wrong on that one.
That one.
Missed on the Raiders and Patriots. Yeah, that was kind of an upset to me. And then, of course, Rams Texans. I missed that one. I picked the Texans to upset the Rams. 11-4, though. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, a lot of people that I'm competing with, 10-5, 9-6, 8-7. Some worse. So no, I'm pretty happy with my 11-4. I have the Vikings winning tonight. So if you're wrong and I'm right,
we'll be tied.
Then we will be tied. If you win, though, then it's a 2-game difference. So I got a long way to go.
That is a great showing by us. 12-3 and 11-4 is pretty solid. I think I was like 95 point something% when I was just looking at before. All right. So Chiefs Chargers. Give us your quick recap on that.
Well, I was actually covering a high school football game, but I did recap it a little bit. I'm just kind of shocked that the Chargers really won that game. I don't know. I think the Chiefs. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. They really should have won that
high school game. Tell us how the high school did then.
Oh, they got wrecked. But hey, they're a lot better than last year. They played the team, lost 50-0. This year they lost 35-13. So I actually feel very optimistic.
Baby steps.
A lot of optimism for this young team. But yeah, no, the Chiefs I felt like should have won that game. And yeah, I think the moment, Mahomes was heading toward the sideline and then he decides to hit the defender, that kind of ticked me off. I don't like that at all. I hope defenders now will just kill the guy whenever he's approaching that zone.
That's what people are saying.
I hate it. That's wrong. So yeah, hopefully I see more 15-yard penalties because of that. That is horrible.
That's crazy talk. Yeah, I streamed Canadian football. And then I had about 10 minutes left in the Chargers-Chiefs games. I caught the end of that, and that came through. That was exciting. And the Chargers were ahead. The Chiefs were closing the gap, and then Herbert put it away with that third down run. That was sweet. That was amazing. And that felt good to see the Chiefs finally lose a one-score game. Because you win all those one-score games, if it's 10 of them, and you win all 10, then you're not as good as your record says you are.
The law of averages says next year you're not going to do that again.
The Vikings did that a few years ago, and they looked really good, but they crumbled down the playoffs because they're not that good. They just happened to the ball to bounce their way all the time. It's just crazy
And the
for that
rest.
to happen.
But yeah.
And then the following year, you're back to normal and you go downhill. So that's what we can see with these Chiefs going downhill.
No, totally could see that happening again. That was one of my overreactions that they wouldn't win the AFC West. But we'll see. We'll see. Next game I don't know what you have, but I have Tampa Bay and Atlanta. That ended up being a close one down to the wire. And again, I picked Tampa Bay to win, but that is going to be it's really going to be between those two teams in the NFC South. The Falcons had a chance to win. But Tampa Bay, again, I believe in Baker and that offense, and I think they persevered to the end of the day. That's dub.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield started slow, I believe, because I was catching, the stats throughout and the highlights while I was streaming, and I was disappointed with the offense of the Buccaneers, but they didn't have Godwin. But Ibuka, the rookie, had 2 touchdowns, and I wasn't sure how to feel about that guy coming in. I didn't think he was going to play well, but I'm like, let's give him a chance, and he came through.
And he
came
played
through
well.
with 2 touchdowns, which is crazy. But I thought the Buccaneers would win by more than that, even though they're on the road, and they only won by 3. They came through at the end, and that's what winners do. I got the Buccaneers winning that division, and I'm not shocked that the Buccaneers won. I just thought they would have been ahead by a little bit, and then they would have easily won, but that was shocking that it came down to the wire. That's my take on that.
I don't know. I thought it'd be a close game. I mean, the Falcons actually swept the Buccaneers last year, so I had it being a close game and just leaning in the Tampa Bay's favor. So I'm not shocked by the field goal. What's next on your docket there?
I'm just gonna go with the Giants and the Commanders. Let's hear.
That was a game
21-6 victory for the Commanders.
Yeah. That is so tough. I was all about like, hey, the Giants going to keep this close. I still had the Commanders winning, but I'm like, man, the Giants, watch out for the Giants. Last year they played the Commanders twice, combined loss total of 8 points, and this one they get blown out. So we might see Jackson Dart a lot sooner than you'd think.
Oh man, yeah, it was 21-6. The Commanders didn't put up a lot of points, but the Giants couldn't do diddly squat apparently. That was 2 field goals. It wasn't even a touchdown, right? It was 2 field goals.
Yes.
Yeah. And
it was
no
rough.
offense. Russell Wilson looked like trash. His stats were awful. It was around a 50% completion percentage, which is yikes. With Malik Neighbors and like, I don't care if you think the rest of the wide receivers are trash. You still have Malik Neighbors. You can still find a way to give him the ball. Russell Wilson crumbling. I just don't like it. I'm scared. I'm thinking Jackson Dart week 9. This could be sooner. We can go. I think somebody was saying week 5 against the Saints would be a perfect starting point for Jackson Dart.
I could see it. Again, Russ, I thought he was all right as a Steeler, just fell down the stretch last year. That's not how you start out, though, if you're trying to keep the job the whole year. So, yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, the next is the Dolphins-Colts. You heard my take. Do you have anything to add on top of the Colts-Dolphins, or not really?
Dolphins let me down.
Dolphins let you down?
They let America down.
They let America down. All right, moving on. We'll go to the Steelers-Jets. You covered that game. You had that take on that as well. That was an exciting game. I wish I was able to watch that, but just a little recap. I'm going to say I was shocked with how well Fields played and all the touchdowns he had fantasy-wise, and Aaron Rodgers, but I expected the Steelers to win, and the Jets choked. Good for the Steelers.
Very exciting. Again, I thought that was the game of the day, or at least in the early slate, that was just a fantastic game. No defense. If you like defense, that was not the game for you.
Which is weird. We're talking about the Jets and Steelers.
I know. Overrated, though. Again, I'm just sick and tired of the Steelers defense consistently choking, and luckily Aaron Rodgers was able to save the day, because again, I'm just sick and tired of that all the Steelers defense. They're so bad. They've been bad. They're overpaid, overrated, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed yesterday. They just ran all over the Steelers. But luckily, again, Aaron Rodgers proving a lot of you guys wrong in the comments section, by the way.
Oh no, watch out.
4
touchdowns.
Let's get
on warning from the delay. Watch out. Don't make the delay mad. If he gets loud, you guys are in trouble. I'm not going to help you.
Very happy.
I'm going to back out. All right, Panthers, Jaguars. Jaguars went 26-10. There was a huge weather delay in the middle of that game, slowing that up. But it seems like Bryce Young played like garbage, and Trevor Lawrence did what he needed to do. So, Yeah, I
Not
should have
much
picked the
there. Just
Jaguars.
the Jags beat the team that they should have beat. Um, and the AFC South, I have actually the Jaguars winning. I had to pick a different team to win that division because I had the Bills, I had the Chiefs winning the division, and of course the Ravens. So I had to change up. Jaguars are my pick, and right now they're 1-0. But again, it was the
Yeah,
Panthers.
it seems like the Jaguars ran all over the Panthers because 143 yards by ETN on 16 carries. Bryce Young, I thought he would play a lot better. I got him on my fantasy bench on a few teams. He only had 154 yards passing, just over 50% completion percentage, one touchdown, two picks. I don't think this Jaguars defense is going to be that good, but we had Travis Hunter. I want to go see what he did, but they're going to use him mostly as a wide receiver and occasionally on defense for like
Yeah,
spot plays.
as they should,
But
in an
Lawrence
offense.
was 19 for 31, 178, one touchdown, one pick. So he is this Jaguars team. They won 26-10, but on paper this does not look good for them.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing, I'm reading the comments here. Bryce Young. I mean, if he doesn't get it together this year, I mean, he's probably done.
I
He's
thought he
done.
was playing better at the end of last year, but
He was, but
uh,
didn't carry over. So that's the bummer. All right, what
nope,
you got
nope,
next?
nope. Cardinals Saints.
Cardinals
Cardinals win
Saints
20-13.
20 to
Saints are the worst.
13. Yeah, I honestly thought the Cardinals would win by a lot more there, but a win's a win in my book. I'm really high on the Cardinals this year, not so high on the Saints. So yeah, again, the Saints I think are contending for that number one pick. Really, I think that's what they're looking for.
Rattler out through Murray. So 214 to 163. A lot of these quarterbacks this week under 200 yards passing, which is pretty crazy. And Trey Benson outran James Conner. So he had 69 yards on the ground, my boy from FSU. But a big performance out of Kamara because I'm going to see a lot of checkdowns. He had a touchdown, loving Kamara, but he's going to be the highlight of the Saints. That's all they got.
Yeah, that's all they got.
Do you think Spencer Rattler stays quarterback for most of the year?
Probably not if they lose a lot. I mean, you got to at least throw in the rookie quarterback, Shuck or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really know much about him, but you got to at least
Shuck.
see him, on the field. So I would assume no if they keep losing, which probably will. So
yeah,
that's my take there.
Yep, and then
what you got?
Marvin Harrison Jr. got me a touchdown in fantasy. Love that guy, but under 100 yards receiving. Bengals, Browns, we talked about this one. The Bengals won 17-16. Anything else you'd like to add before moving on?
No, other than, again, bad performance, but they still won. So that tells me that they are going to continue. They'll get better. They will get better.
Raiders, Patriots. The Raiders beat the Patriots 2013. Can the Raiders contend with the AFC West with the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs?
No, they cannot. But
no.
I definitely was shocked by the result. Happy though that the Chiefs are 0-1 and everyone else in the AFC West is 1-0. That's always a good feeling. You don't really see that. So
the rookie Gentry got a touchdown, but he only averaged 2 yards a carry, 19 for 38. That is worrisome. But Bowers 5 for 103. That guy is a monster. Best tight end in the league. But my data said the Raiders and Patriots are right up there. They have the Raiders like 17. Not making the playoffs, of course. But wow, so that kind of looks good that the Raiders are able to get the win because I don't think many people were taking the Raiders. And my data, even I was laughing at the numbers having the Raiders so high in the power rankings. All right, 49ers Seahawks, go ahead. 17-13. Niners win.
Niners winning a close one, a division game in Seattle. Very hard place to play. Very happy that they won. They looked really shaky there. I'm really high on I actually have the Niners winning the division this year in the NFC West. So I was like really concerned with that, but they did end up pulling away. Again, it's a hard place to play. So again, I think San Francisco will be a NFC contender this year. So watch out for them.
Yeah, they came back to win, but Purdy didn't play well throughout. He threw a couple interceptions, but he was able to get that touch on the end to win the game. My shocker was Christian McCaffrey getting all the touches because of his Caffey that we were talking about Thursday.
Yeah.
But I actually kept him in on my lineups. He said he was good to go. I believed him. He didn't pull the football away from me, send me flying like Lucy. 22 carries, 69 yards. And then he had 9 receptions for 73. So that was pretty good for him. He didn't get in the end zone, but that was a nice day for McCaffrey. And the one guy I'm not high on, Pearsall, had over 100 yards, 4 catches, 108 yards. But I'm worried with Purdy because he doesn't throw many interceptions. I feel like he's safer with the ball, and they
Yeah,
almost
again,
lost that game.
I would. Again, it's a tough place to play. Home field advantage. Seattle is one of those places where it's
2-minute warning.
like a college atmosphere, so it's pretty loud. Pretty loud there. All right, what you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
next?
2-minute warning. 2 games left. Titans Broncos. Broncos win 20-12. I was extremely disappointed with Bo Nix. He threw a couple interceptions. He was up and down like a roller coaster as a quarterback. They couldn't do much against that Titans defense, and I'm like, Titans defense. They're not over the defense. Who? What? So Bo
They
Nix
aren't.
didn't look good, and it was pretty scary. Dobbins and Harvey. Harvey looked pretty good. He had some explosive plays. Dobbins had a touchdown run though. I'm worried about the wide receivers for the Broncos. Worried about Bo Nix, especially when it was a scary, close game against the Titans. Not worried about that defense. They shut down Cam Ward. They made him look like a rookie. All the Titans were doing was running the ball and getting stuffed, and then forced to throw. It was around 50% completion percentage for Cam Ward. He's a rookie. That's what these great defenses do. And Ward did just get over 100 yards at 112. So Titans, I'm still low on, but I'm kind of worried with the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean the Broncos. I didn't have them make the playoffs. I do have them being like a 9-8 or something like that. But no, I wasn't really seeing that. I don't know. I was kind of worried that they would slump a little bit. And just looking at the stats here, it looked like you covered a pretty terrible offensive game. I mean, Bo Nix.
Yeah, it was harsh.
Bo Nix was 25 for 40 attempts, only 176 yards. So while you said Cam only had 112 yards, I mean, had he had the same 40 attempts, it wouldn't have been much worse of the 170 there.
They didn't want him to throw the ball. They didn't want him
really,
to throw.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be worried if you're a Broncos fan. I'd be a little bit concerned if you're struggling against the Titans at home.
Yeah,
no, that's kind of unacceptable.
But they have the Colts next week, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud versus Matt Stafford. The Texans versus the Rams. It was a 14-9 win for the Rams. I know you picked the Texans. I am shocked. No touchdown passes by Stroud. 1 interception. He had a great rookie season, and second-year follow-up wasn't that good, and he's not starting well against the Rams this year. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I mean, these are teams that, they both made the playoffs last year, and both teams that I think are maybe a little bit overrated in the media as far as Texans, Rams, or at least the media that I watch. First things first. I don't have them making the playoffs, and I just don't. I'm not high on them. And yesterday, again, 14-9. That's not really a exciting game, and I don't know. These teams, I don't think, are known for great defenses. They might be. I don't know, but not much to offer on this one other than the home team wins a stinker. So
you're saying the Rams aren't making the playoffs?
I don't have them making the playoffs now. I have them going 9-8.
You think the Cowboys take their spot and sneak in?
No. I mean, I'm still going to hold true to my predictions. It's only 1 week, but
who's your extra wild card then?
I have the Redskins, Commanders thing, Lions, and the Cardinals. Those are my 3 wild cards.
Oh, the Cardinals are going to take it in the division
Eagles,
over the Rams.
Packers,
Oh,
Buccaneers,
wow. Okay.
and Niners.
Yeah,
my division.
I got the Rams winning the division, but this is not a great performance. But to be fair, people have the Texans winning the division in the AFC South. So, and Stafford's, I feel like he's always dealing with injuries. So if he gets healthy, they should be good. But disappointed with Devontae Adams. I don't think he had much to offer that game. It's just Nakua nonstop. 10 catches for 130 yards, and he was been injured. Like I heard, like he was going to get stitches or something during the game. He was getting beat up so bad. But I don't know where Devontae Adams was. I guess he was hanging out with A.J. Brown this weekend, and he was nowhere. Oh, Adams had 451, but most of that game he had like 1 catch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know.
I like that the Rams won. I like that the Texans lost. Colts are on the top of the division with the Jaguars. No big deal. So
Duval. I'm about to be the Jaguars guy for some reason, just because you're the Colts guy.
Oh no! Then I'm gonna just root for everybody else in your division. So
that's fair. I'm used to it.
Let's go Bengals. Let's go Browns. Too bad they had to play each other. Otherwise, they'd both be ahead of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh man. But, all right, so that wraps up our picks. That wraps up our segments. We're going to mix it up each week. Little buy, sell, other little segments. Try to catch each other off guard. Keep it interesting. Keep it fresh. Keep it hot. We got to go and start our work day. We'll be back on Thursday for another pre-snap read. Close it out. Dr. Delay, what do you got to say?
I say go Steelers, and thank you guys all for tuning in. Again, appreciate you guys just listening to our show. That's awesome. And again, I think we got a good show here. I really am excited for what is.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun all year long, twice a week. And
Yes.
we'll be back Thursday for our predictions, our takes during the week, where teams are trending, more segments for you. And we'll do it again. And go Colts, not the Steelers. I can't leave.
Go Steelers. Here we go, Steelers.
What are we talking about?
Here we
no
go.
to the Steelers is ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers, possible MVP.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, people. We'll see you Thursday morning. Rock and roll. Thanks.